Welcome back to Sweet News. I'm Patty Peppermint and this is Mike Ike, and the date is February 7th, sometime in the early 1900s. And today we're going to recap some of the big events that have happened in the past few years.
Today we will talk with a relative of Emma Lazarus as well as Thomas Bailey Aldrich himself on the topic of political poetry.
Later we will cover immigration and eugenics with guest speaker Carrie Buck, as well as discuss the anti-Chinese sentiment laws. Now we'll go over to Joy Almond with our first guest speaker.
Thanks, Patty. I'm Joy Almond, and I'm here to talk with Annie Lazarus, Emma Lazarus' sister. Thank you for speaking on Emma's behalf today, Annie.
Thanks, Joy. I'm glad to be here.
Now tell me about your sister's poem. Is it true that this poem, written in 1883, about Lady Liberty welcoming the immigrants into America, was engraved in bronze onto the Green Lady herself in 1903?
Yes, she was very excited and proud about the new Colossus because she wanted to highlight how different the new world is from the old world and address that America is open arms to those who've borne hardships in the past.
Beautiful. America has offered great opportunities to those new immigrants, huh?
Yes, and Emma was very enthusiastic about that. Some people don't think the same way.
I think you mean Thomas Bailey Aldrich, the nativist who wrote his own poem in response to your sister's. Why do you think the two of them thought so differently?
Well, I believe Thomas was a WASP and a wealthy Protestant and therefore had less of a connection to the people who bore hardships of the old world than my sister.
Understood. Thank you, Annie. I'm going to hand it over to Ruth Baby with Thomas Bailey Aldrich himself now.
Thanks, Joy. I'm here with Thomas Bailey Aldrich, and he's going to tell me a little bit about his poem, Unguarded Gates, written in response to Emma Lazarus' poem, The New Colossus.
Well, I wrote my poem, The Unguarded Gates, because I believe that we are letting in too many immigrants, and immigrants are scary.
Would you describe a nativist for me? What do you believe in?
Well, I believe that immigrants pose a threat to security of the nation, and I believe the country should monitor who we let in.
Oh, well, you have a very prominent opinion. Is it true that you use adjectives such as wild, featureless, strange, and alien to describe the motley throngs of immigrants?
Yes, I believe that these unguarded gates will let in too many unknown and therefore unsafe people into our wonderful nation.
Well, you have lived here as long as Emma has. Why do you think your views differ?
Well, her Jewish family came over with the third wave of immigrants escaping persecution. So Emma must have had a soft spot for the immigrants. God damn it.
I see. Thank you, Thomas. Now we'll go over to Kit Kat and Mr. Bargood, who will be talking with Carrie Buck.
Thanks, Ruth. I'm here with Kat Kit and our other guest speaker, Carrie Buck, here to talk about eugenics and the increased cases of sterilization. Carrie, would you like to tell us a little bit about your struggle through those hard times?
Of course, Mr. Bargood. It all started after I was raped and had my daughter in 1924. My mother was rumored to have been a prostitute, so people from the outside saw me as just the same.
And that's why she was admitted to the Lynchburg colony? They claimed she was feeble-minded. That was the basis for eugenics. People believed that those kinds of things were hereditary.
Yes, and so I was soon admitted to the Lynchburg colony as well with my daughter, who was wrongly described by a nurse as somewhat peculiar, and that sealed the deal.
The evidence proved that feeble-mindedness is hereditary, and it was proven that sterilization was constitutional. That's what started the sterilizations of all of those people in Virginia.
Is it true that you read Shakespeare in your free time, and that your daughter Vivian is in fact a very smart girl?
Yes, I enjoy the complexity of Shakespeare, and yes, Vivian had very good grades and always made honor roll. She never missed a beat.
It's such a sad case of misunderstanding.
Yes, thank you. Now I'll invite Mint Jr. in to talk with us about the anti-Chinese laws that have been passed lately. Hi, Mint.
Hi, Mr. Bargood. And Kat Kit. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now tell us about the laws. Why was the first anti-Chinese law passed? How did the government get away with it?
Well, the first anti-Chinese law was passed in 1882 because America had an influx in labor, and we did not need any more laborers entering the nation, because that would mean we would have a higher unemployment rate.
So the law only excluded the Chinese laborers, right?
Right. Though it was a bit of a case of racism, excluding a group of people based on their race. There was indeed a labor surplus and job competition, but the law passed next was unacceptable.
And that was the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1888, right? It excluded all of the Chinese, men, women, children, and elders.
Exactly. These laws were also put to place because there was an influx of white violence toward Chinese persons.
And it was a bit like blaming the victim, huh? So tell us more about the later restrictions on immigration relating to the restrictive tests that the immigrants had to pass.
Yes, every immigrant had to pass tests such as common sense and physical tests at Ellis Island.
So nobody could get into the U.S. unless they passed through Ellis Island.
I heard that they were turning people away if they had any history in their families of criminals, prostitutes, or paupers.
Yes, I think that's true. Weren't there also many ways you could fail the physical tests?
Yes, they had almost 20 different marks they'd mark people with, all accustomed to the reason they're turning you away: sickness, lameness, feeble-mindedness.
Thank you for talking with us.
And thank you for watching Sweet News!
Back to later we'll become.
We'll cover immigration and eugenics with the guest speaker.
Okay.
Same.
Handed.
Seriously.
Sorry.
Since
That was true that you use me talking with Carrie Buck.
no, I gotta restart my line, you stupid bitch.
Alright!
You're ignorant slut. Go.
Again, I just read it. Those hard times.
Of course, Mr.
A
Barbie.
little about your struggle through those hard times.
Of course. After I was raped. Can I help you?
The sterilizations of those people in vagina. About the anti-Chini. Hold on, I gotta say it again.
Hi, Mr. Barr. Or Mr. Good.
Get out.
Fuck!
Thank you for talking with us.
Thank you for watching!
You too.
Ta-da.
God bless. That's not.